Purdue as Mitchell looks for an answer.
Ooh, pure, nothing but net.
Garland to the basket, stole the inbound pass. He lays it in.
Basketball down there.
Very high percentage shot for him from that spot. Merrill for three. Tristan Thompson on the floor. Diaz, that's short. Hard rebound, ricochets out to Merrill for three again.
For the We Like Sports Show, tune in and see the latest the crew has to say regarding the latest sports topics nationally and locally. Make sure to check out our website as well, WeLikeSportsPC.com. Subscribe on all platforms, including podcast platforms, YouTube, TikTok, and much more. And be sure to follow us on X at WeLikeSportsPC.
Started with Anderson and Ramirez.
He said, let's go, right?
Yeah, I'm sure he wants the game to start, but they won't let it. And rightfully so.
And welcome to the We Like Sports Show. I'm your host, Ed in Columbus, and I want to wish everybody a happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday out there to everybody out there. Taco Tuesday, so maybe you can enjoy those later on, or maybe you have already enjoyed them. If you have, hey, good for you, and if not, then hey, what better than a Tuesday to have some tacos? But a lot of sports to get into. But first, we survived the eclipse. That moon photobombed the sun, and in Columbus it wasn't full darkness like it was in Cleveland, but we had some fun here. Guardians got a big home opener victory over the Shy Sox. We'll get into that. Cleveland Cavaliers struggling mightily. 3 games left. 5th seed right now. Got some work to do because right now they would be facing the New York Knickerbockers. Don't want to exactly have to face them, especially when you don't have home court advantage, and currently they do not, sitting at the 5th spot. Also, women's national championship and Final Four. Doing what they do best and hosting a major event. Cleveland is always the epicenter of the sports universe. And once again, they showed up and they showed out in the 2-1-6. And congratulations to South Carolina for getting the championship. And also to Caitlin Clark for just being Caitlin Clark and raising the bar for women's sports in general, and just sports in general as well. I don't know why it has to always be just women. Women's sports is sports. And from what I saw, great numbers coming out of the Final Four. The women's national championship game actually outdrew the men's game last night. So that was good to see as well. And I got to give myself some kudos. Pat on the back, because I went full out Cleveland. I finished second in all of my brackets. I had only one bracket. Now I entered 3 different competitions per se. I had the We Like Sports, I had Bougie Sports, and then my family had one, the No Nuts. We called it No Nuts. There were no Buckeyes, so it was called No Nuts. It was fun, but finished second in all 3 of them. So Cleveland of me, I would say. What we'll do, I think we always like to around here, got to pay the bills. And so we'll get into it with this is over with and everything, but that doesn't mean you can't experience the thrill of sports betting with MyBookie. So, if you sign up now, take advantage of their generous offer. You get $1,000 promo code Sportz. That's Sports with a Z. You get up to the minute odds, free bets, expert predictions, help you put your money where it needs to go. The best part of MyBookie is you can bet on anything, anytime, anywhere. Use promo code Sportz. That's Sports with a Z to secure your limited time welcome bonus today. So you want to do that. And also, it is 6 o'clock, after 6 o'clock, 5 minutes after 6. And, you know what? I'm kind of feeling a little bit. Maybe if I had some kind of pick me up that would get me going. But there is something out there that you can try, and that's called Dubby. It's an energy drink that you can mix at home that doesn't give you the jitters or make you crash. Try Dubby. Their products have no calories, no sugar, no maltodextrin, no fillers, and no artificial colors. Dubby has great flavors such as Dragonade, Galaxy Grenade, Beach and Peach, and Dub Sludge. So head on over to dubby.gg, use the coupon code WeLikeSports, and get 10% off your order. Also, too, the Snooze You Lose podcast. Don't forget to check out the Snooze You Lose podcast with Uncle Joe the Black Boogie. He'll get you set with his Sunday Snooze You Lose pick of the week. So who doesn't want to add more coin to their man purse out there, or just a regular lady's purse if that's what you choose, or if you're a lady, then hey, you got a nice purse out there and more coin in it. That's always a good thing. So, and also, like we always say, and like we like to do, is promote ourselves. So head on over to WeLikeSportsPC.com, get the latest articles. We have such great writers; they do such a fine job, and we're growing, we're expanding. Check us out on YouTube, Spotify, and everything like that. So WeLikeSportsPC.com. That's where you go for the website. That's where you get the great articles. And we've been putting them out, and they've been doing big things for us. So shout out to all our writers over there. So did a little bit of that. And while we're at it, I like to do and get into my favorite segment. I wonder why that would be. I don't know. This is Eddie Columbus with your We Like Sports breaking news. The South Carolina women's basketball team won the NCAA championship over Caitlin Clark in Iowa. Iowa gave it all they had, but they were no match against Lady Cox. The Huskies won the men's NCAA hoops title, winning back-to-back for the first time since the Florida Gators did it in 06-07, proving that you can do it. And finally, John Calipari is leaving Kentucky for Arkansas. The offer was made by a pirate. Kansas. That was really bad. And this is in Columbus with your We Like Sports breaking news. Now, I will admit, that breaking news was full of dad jokes, full of bad puns, but I don't apologize. I won't apologize. And I probably will continue to keep doing that until somebody physically makes me stop. I hope they don't do that. Please, no physical violence. But yeah, that's my commitment to breakhead news and getting out all the bad puns and sports cliches out there. So that's what we do. So, but now let's go into first. I want to talk about the women's Final Four in the great city of Cleveland, my hometown, my birth town. No, we had the game South Carolina and NC State. Not much of a game. South Carolina kind of rolled there, and which we all thought was going to happen. But the game of the night obviously was Iowa and UConn. And everybody's talking about what happened with the illegal pick and the screen and everything. I'm just going to say this. I don't like calls that determine basketball games in the final seconds that aren't exactly, the ball's in the air per se, something gets stopped from that. But I have to admit, looking at that play, she did set an illegal screen on that play. And, I don't like to see games decided like that. But, if you're, an Iowa fan, I mean, that is a correct call. And, a lot of people are saying, well, you got to get Caitlin Clark to the championship game at all costs and everything. And, well, there might be something to be said about that, but I honestly don't believe the referees, in the back of their mind with, seconds to go and, they're hyper focused on their job and getting the right calls. And we're going to look for something to get Miss Clark and the Iowa Hawkeyes to the championship game. I don't think that was done. And I like what Paige Beckers had to say about it afterwards, that, it wasn't one play that determined that national semifinal, but, it was a collective and everything. So I just want to say that, the women represented, they showed what fine, professional, even though they're not professionals. Well, some of them get paid NIL money, but, showed how classy they are. And, it carried over to Sunday when South Carolina took out Iowa in the championship game. And, shout out to South Carolina. What a dominant team, undefeated. Nothing says, champions, like, having that perfect 0 in the loss column. And that's what the Gamecocks did all year. And they once again showed why they're the best. And they did it in Cleveland. And congratulations to them. Now, going over to the men's side, we had the Final Four. We had Zach Edey going up against DJ Burns in North Carolina. That was a fun little matchup. And I don't know if you saw it, but they were jawing back and forth at each other. Well, probably more one-sided with DJ Burns, telling some jokes to Zach Edey and making him laugh and everything. But Purdue was too tough and Zach was too tall, and the Boilermakers got it done. So, they ended up playing in the championship game last night against none other than UConn, who took care of Alabama in a game that was pretty close, for a while. But then UConn does what they do all year, and they pull away usually the beginning of the second half, and they got it done pretty much. And then, fast forward to last night, and once again, close game. UConn pulls away kind of the beginning of the second half, and they get that 15-point victory. So once again, Big Ten back to the drawing board. They have not won a national championship game since the year 2000, when Tom Izzo's Michigan State, led by Mateen Cleaves, got it done. So we've had a handful of teams. We had my Ohio State Buckeyes, 2007, lost to Florida in the national championship game. I remember, I believe 2005, the Illinois Fighting Illini lost to North Carolina in the championship game. Michigan losing to Louisville. We've had Wisconsin losing to Duke. I know I'm probably forgetting some. Obviously, Purdue last night. Indiana, I believe, like in 2002, I believe. So, yeah, we've had not the best of luck in the national championship game for myself and all the Big Ten college basketball fans out there. But, hey, next year's next year, and we'll see what we can do. But, yeah, it's rough being Big Ten, but not for football. I mean, I'm an Ohio State Buckeye, and, well, maybe I won't recognize who's the national champion in football, but they are Big Ten. They are Big Ten, but I won't say their name. I'm not afraid to. We'll just let it play out that way. So, so that's enough NCAA hoops. I was thinking about talking about something a little bit more casual, per se. I don't know if that's the right word, but oh wow, we got somebody hopping on here. All right, well let's welcome him to the show. But we'll bring him on. What's up, my guy?
Hey Ed, how you doing?
Doing real well. Welcome to the We Like Sports Show.
What do you got? What are we talking about today?
Well, I just got done with college basketball, so I did the women's and the men's. But I was going into baseball right now. I see you got your Yankees cap on, so let's
I
go.
got my Yankees cap on here in Toronto. So.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, let's talk some diamond here now. My Cleveland Guardians are out to a hot start at 8-2, and they're doing it offensively this year. Now Shane Bieber goes down, big hurt, and I think it actually hurts them more when the trade department, knowing that he probably wasn't going to be on this team the whole year anyways, but that package we could have got of prospects, I don't think we're going to get anymore, obviously. But what are your thoughts on Major League Baseball so far? And talk about the Yankees or talk about whoever you want to talk about.
So we're like 9-2, pleasantly surprised. We swept the Astros in Houston.
Yeah.
Didn't take much of that. Cabrera was great and Volpe in the first series. Just struggled, but he got his bat back against Arizona. And then we had 2 out of 3 in Arizona, 2 out of 3 against the Blue Jays. So Stanton came back with his bat. Loaizaga is out for the season.
Yeah. So
the bullpen might be a little short. I guess Ian Hamilton will get more innings, and we'll see how it goes. 9-2 beat the Marlins last night, so
you gotta be happy as a Yankees
tomorrow on Thursday. So
Okay. Well, like I said, both teams out to a hot start. 9-2 Yankees, 8-2 Guardians. Maybe we'll see each other in the ALCS. Who knows? That's always go back to 1998. And not to date myself, but I remember those classic teams of the Indians in the 90s and the Yankees. So that was fun.
Yeah, 96, 98, 99, 2000, and 2009.
Yes.
I don't know if we'll make a trade for a reliever. I don't know. Like, we'll see, right?
Right. Well.
And some other stuff, like the umpiring was brutal on Sunday.
Oh.
I think Hernandez, like he called the balls and strikes, like high strikes, low strikes against Judge. Not that I'm complaining, but
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we can't fire umpires because they're part of the union, right?
Right. Well, he has to be part of a very, very strong union for Angel Hernandez to still have a job over all these long years.
Yeah, and then what else we got? We got the Ohtani thing, but we haven't heard.
No, I was going to ask you. I want to ask you about that. Do you think Major League Baseball is doing a nice job sweeping that under the rug, or are they doing their due diligence per se?
Yeah, it's weird because nothing's happening. I have a friend, he works in financial services. Like, I'm sorry, if it's a huge transaction, someone's going to get called out on it, right?
Right.
So we don't know if Ohtani bet on the game or the translator bet on the game. So,
yeah.
We'll see what happens. There's a big investigation. And then I wrote this article, like last week. I can't remember his name right now. The Raptor player, people bet money on the props.
Oh yeah, was it? Yeah, I know. Yeah, I can't think of his name, but I do know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so he had he played not even 4 minutes. So they bet all these unders on the props, and someone bet on DraftKings. They had 2 bets for 25,000, 20,000.
Wow.
So apparently they're investigating it right now. So.
Wow. Now I know in the state of Ohio, I know there's a push for at least with collegiate sports to get rid of prop bets and everything, and I can see that moving forward. That I think that it's one thing to bet on who's going to win.
Yeah, exactly. You can't bet on your own teams. And
right.
That's pretty scary.
Yeah.
But if you just bet on the NBA, maybe you'll get a slap in the wrist. I don't know.
Now I know the NFL is you're out for the season pretty much, like even Calvin Ridley.
Pretty much, yeah. So. They're pretty strict. It's zero tolerance. I mean, Pete Rose is done for life. Look at that, right?
Right. Which my thoughts about Pete Rose is he should be in the Hall of Fame, and because as a player, now he bet as a manager and everything, but look, as a player, I don't know how you could have the hits king out of it, but I think eventually he'll get in, just like the steroid era, people will get in. Have an asterisk by it, have something that says these people were part of this era, but you got to have them be part of the story, I would say. But
yeah, exactly. See. So well, Pete Rose, it's too bad. Yeah, I guess he made his mistake, but but people are gonna go after him, right? So
yeah,
we'll see. Are you
he didn't have an interpreter. If you had Ohtani's interpreter, maybe he could have got away with that. So who knows?
It's funny, the Yankees interpreter is so humble. He doesn't say 2 words. He doesn't bet on baseball. Now, are you a hockey fan at all, Ed?
Well, here's the deal. I live in Columbus. I do like the Columbus Blue Jackets, so that tells you how much I love hockey because it's been very slim pickings. And now this team, I don't know if it can get any worse. We're talking about Johnny Gaudreau, Johnny Hockey. We signed him to this big contract. He's only got 11 goals this year.
Really?
11 goals.
Wow, 11 Toronto's. It's the Maple Leafs. Austin Matthews had his 65th last night. So I think there's 4 games left. He might hit 70. So if he hits 70, there's a good chance it'll be our Ross Trophy, whatever. But we're in a hockey mad Toronto, right?
I always say this about Toronto, and I know with the Raptors win their championship, which was fine, just like the Cavaliers won their championship in 2016. But Toronto is a hockey town with the Maple Leafs.
Oh, definitely.
Cleveland is a football town with the Browns, and unfortunately, if I'm correct with my math, the Browns. Now I believe the Maple Leafs 67 was their last Stanley Cup? Yeah.
67. That's the last time they won it. 93, they were close against Gretzky and the Kings. And
Okay.
when Gilmore got clipped, they didn't call it in LA, and then we lost in Game 7 against Gretzky, and then I think we got to the
Canadians win it that year?
Final a couple times. That was it, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. This year might be a little different, so we'll be fine. So, anyways, I gotta hop off.
Okay. Well, no, I'm glad you came on.
Anytime you want me to hop on a podcast, let me know.
All right. Give love.
Hopefully, starting my own podcast soon. So.
Okay. Well, give love to the
We're just working the kinks, so we can talk some Columbus Blue Jackets or like Cleveland Indians or like whatever. Okay, nice talking to you, Ed. Have a good day.
Mad love to the Six. We love Toronto.
See you.
We love
Bye.
Toronto. All right. Peace. All right. Well, you know what? Hey, people hop in, they hop out. That's how it works on the We Like Sports show. So mad love to the Six in Toronto and Drake. How about Drake? Go up to Drake. And if you're watching, hey, you can hop on too. That's, you know what I'm saying? And leave J. Cole alone, I think, or whatever the case may be with that. We don't want to start anything here. But so we talked a little hockey there. Hey, we talked hockey, so but Blue Jackets fan, it's been tough, obviously, since their inception. We had a little bright hope when we swept Tampa Bay Lightning, and then Tampa Bay decided to win 2 Stanley Cups after that debacle they had. Other cities and other teams and win, and the Blue Jackets continue to not win. So that's enough of that. But we were talking baseball, talking about the Yankees, talking about the Guardians. Like I said, Guardians had their home opener yesterday after the Eclipse happened. I thought that was kind of cool watching all the players on the field and doing their warm-ups, and then they stopped and around 3:15 whenever the total Eclipse happened. And and then they went out there and defeated the White Sox, who are 1-9. Hey, Chicago White Sox. I'm glad we're in the Central because that's not getting it done. White Sox now, they're 1-9, like I said, and through the 10 games, they've only scored 16 runs and have been shut out 4 times. So talk about futility at its finest, I'd say. I mean, you don't want to be good at being futile, but that's what they are. So hey, keep going, White Sox. Happen to share the same division. Continue, keep doing what you're doing, I should say. Tigers now, they're 6-4. So I think that's going to be a Guardians Tigers kind of division this year. Hopefully, Twins will obviously be in it because they're pesky and can never count them out. But I don't think it's going to take much to win the division in the AL Central this year. When I mean much, talk about the number of games. It's not going to be like the AL East where you're going to have to win 96 to maybe 100 games. I'm thinking maybe 86, 87. Like I said, dating myself back to 97 when the Indians won the AL Central and went on to the World Series. They won 86 games that year. So the Central's had times where, lean years, I should say, when it comes to win totals. So hopefully that continues because, like I said, I don't see a team getting too hot winning 95 games. I mean, I know the Guardians 2 years ago in 2022 won 92 games, maybe, but that was kind of out of nowhere. And, they won a lot of 1-run games, and we'll see. So far, so good with this Guardians team. They're putting the ball in play, scoring the most runs, I believe, still in the American League. And they're doing it with solid pitching, but pitching that's going to be without Shane Bieber. And like I was telling Yusuf, come trade deadline time, if Bieber was going really good, there was thoughts of, trading him to get a nice surplus of prospects and maybe some major league talent for this year as well. But obviously that's not going to happen with Bieber going on the DL and then obviously out for the year with Tommy John surgery scheduled, or not scheduled maybe yet, but in the plans. So wish you a speedy recovery, but I don't know if you're ever going to put on a Guardians jersey again. And if you put on another uniform, I'm not going to root for you. So it's what it is there. But well, I guess we'll go to some NBA right now, and I don't really want to because my Cleveland Cavaliers are struggling, to say the least. As I talked about in the opening, they're now in the 5th spot in the East. 46-33, a half a game behind the New York Knicks for the 4th spot. That's not good because if those two teams are 4 and 5, they're going to obviously play each other. Now it's better, obviously, to have the 4 because you'd have the home court advantage. But right now they currently do not have that. Now they have 3 games left. They'll play tomorrow against Memphis at home. And then they got Indiana. And then they got the Hornets. So they got 3 winnable games. And if they could take care of business there, they could possibly shoot up to that number 3 spot. And here's the deal. But if they don't, they could possibly fall to like the 7th spot. They do that, then you're talking about the play-in and everything. And with the team struggling like it is, having some injury problems, Donovan Mitchell, not fully 100%. He's a gamer. He'll play, I'm sure. But, I don't know at what percentage you're getting Spider at. And at this point, you're going to need him at 150%, which is mathematically impossible at this point. But it's mathematically impossible no matter what, because you can only really give 100%. I hate that. It's a pet peeve of mine when people say, I give 110%. That's math. You can only give 100%. Okay. So just want to throw that out there. But back to the association as well. Cavs got to get it done, got 3 winnable games. But going out west, which is, one of the things that, has been shocking to me maybe because Minnesota's still at the top spot right now. Now they're tied with Denver. They own the tiebreaker, I believe, but at 54-24. So that West is, it's looking to be a fun conference when it comes to playoffs. Lakers in the 9 spot, so they're in the playoff scenario. Golden State's at 10, so they're in it. So that's kind of fun watching the Lakers and Golden State. They're in the playoffs per se, but they're at 9 and 10, so they're being the play-in. And I think that's kind of cool with some aging teams that I've been accustomed to seeing dominance from. Obviously, with Golden State going to all those finals against the Cavs and then beating Boston a couple of years ago, and then obviously the Lakers winning their Mickey Mouse championship in the COVID year. But they've had some strong teams since LeBron's been there, and they've had some not so good teams. So. We'll see how this rendition of the Lakers pans out. But I don't know. It looks pretty fun. Dallas at 5, the Clippers at 4 now. OKC. So one thing I like about the West is, you got these young and up-and-coming teams. You got Minnesota, you got OKC. They're doing it now. You got, like I said, OKC's in the 3rd spot and Minnesota's in the top spot. These are teams that you're looking, a couple years down the road, like, wow, this could be some dominant teams. But they're being dominant now. They basically kicked open their window and said, hey, maybe they smashed the window, opened the lock, and now they're just going to walk through the front door. Who knows? I think Jokic and Denver might have something to say about that come playoff time, obviously, because that's a nice veteran team that knows how to win. And I would look for them, obviously, if I had to bet right now, to go to the finals. But we shall see how OKC in Minnesota does. And, you got teams out there that intrigue me. I think Phoenix at the 6th spot. And like I said, Dallas and the Clippers at 4 and 5. And those teams, I think that they kind of remind me of like the Cavs, the Knicks, and some of these teams in the East where, yeah, they can win a first round, maybe even a second round series. But do you really see themselves winning in the conference championship series and then getting to the finals? I don't. I think in the East, you have Boston and Milwaukee. And those are like the top 2 teams, obviously. And then I think in the West, I still think it's Denver and then everybody else. But we'll see how that plays out. And that's what's fun. If Denver does get knocked out, then wow, that really, opens the floodgates for any one of those young teams to kind of just skate on to the finals. And then, I would love to see something different in the finals. Give me a Minnesota versus, I don't know, Cleveland. That's who obviously going to be Cleveland because, but I don't think the Cavs are going to get it done this year. And, circling back to the Cavs, they got some decisions to make. Now, there's been obviously some stories going out about Donovan Mitchell. Will he, sign his max deal? I don't know. Dan Gilbert had quoted, I don't know if quoted, but is the right word because he's kind of walking it back now. But, was saying to some people that he expects Donovan Mitchell to sign a max deal in Cleveland this upcoming summer. I don't know, because now I'm seeing reports where, he's not exactly thrilled at what's going on. But some of those reports I think are obviously, I wouldn't say obvious, but I think they're just, coming out now, obviously, because there's some tensions and some strife in Cleveland with the Cavaliers, that it's really easy to bring back a story that, might have been written at the beginning of the season, and now they're kind of rehashing it. If you watch, like we'll get on social media, those kind of, posts are being spread out and kind of hitting more now. So not fun times if you're a Cavs fan. That's all I got to say. Maybe I should move on. I don't know. Maybe I should move on to, I don't know, WrestleMania. I don't know. I love wrestling, and I know a lot of our audience loves it as well. And Cody Rhodes finished the story. Good for Cody Rhodes. I say that I'm part of the bloodline, and I like to have fun with Roman Reigns and everything. Acknowledge me. I think that's awesome. And kudos to Roman. Got to give him his flowers, as the kids would say, for holding it down in the WWE. Went from COVID and the Thunderdome, and being a champion for all these years, and really kind of brought wrestling up. Hey, shout out to Willie. Hey, appreciate that, my guy. Big supporter. We like sports, and I'm a big fan of him. How crazy we love him. You know what, Willie? I'll say this. Everything with Dan Gilbert and everything with the Cleveland Cavaliers is crazy. I mean, it went, going back to the letter, the decision, the fact that he even became a Cleveland Cavalier and we won the lottery to begin with. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we're talking about the I'm talking about the WWE right now, and that's scripted. And, we talk about the NFL and the script, and, look at the association. I mean, with the Knicks getting Patrick Ewing, there were always conspiracy theorists with that. And then, LeBron going to Cleveland. And so I don't know. I don't really care if things are kind of scripted per se. You still got to go out on the court and get that done. And I don't think that's scripted. I know people get mad at the refs and, things, and they got their ideas in their head about how things, play out, or they do play out, and why they did. But I don't think that. But no, I don't think it would be crazy if he went back to the land. I don't think anything that LeBron does is deemed crazy because it's LeBron, and he's had, you look at Michael Jordan, you look at Larry Bird, you look at, back at the stars back in the day, and, they stayed with one team. And, I know Jordan played with the Wizards, but that doesn't count. but LeBron, having his story and finishing it and being the promise keeper and winning Cleveland a championship, which I'll always be thankful and grateful for. But, another thing too, Willie, Bronny, I mean, his son, at USC, now he's entered the transfer portal, but he's also, made himself available to be, drafted. Now, I don't think he will be. I think he'll eventually pull his name back and go to another school, because I don't think he's ready yet. But how crazy would it be if Bronny went to the Ohio State University, and then you got LeBron going back to Cleveland? Now, talk about crazy. I'm all for that. I think give me a big bowl of crazy, put those two ingredients in, and I'm eating all day long. So always appreciate that, Willie, for giving us your comments and your feedback there. So keep them coming too, by the way, if you're watching. So yeah, we have that with NBA, but I was going back to WWE, and Cody Rhodes finishing the story. I like it, but my hesitation is I'm a little bit older. I'm not to date myself, but I'm this many years old. Not 8, but you can figure it out after that. Is going back to WrestleMania 6. And that was when Hulk Hogan was the champion, and then you had the Ultimate Warrior. And it was the Warriors' time to shine. And speaking of Toronto, we had Yusef earlier. Speaking of that, that's where WrestleMania 6 was, at the new Sky Dome. It's the Rogers Center now, but Sky Dome at the time. And the Ultimate Warrior defeated Hulk Hogan and became WWF champion at the time. Problem is he wins it, and I think Cody has obviously more of a personality than the Ultimate Warrior did. But here's the thing. Where does Paul Levesque, Triple H, and the WWE writers go with this now? He finished the story. Great. I think it's okay. But who's his next major opponent? Does Roman Reigns get back in the mix? Is it The Rock? Does The Rock want to continue to wrestle? And I do, hope he does. I thought The Rock did a great job wrestling at WrestleMania. I thought he looked fabulous. For a guy that's obviously older than he was 20 years ago. I thought he looked great. But where does it go? I mean, I've saw some things on X stating that maybe it's The Rock versus Cody at SummerSlam in Cleveland, August 3rd. That'd be great. Maybe it's Cody versus Roman again. I hope not, but there's thoughts. Maybe it's, but I the most that I've seen, or the most, buzz I've seen is you're going to have a Rock versus Roman. I mean, that's got to be, I think what's going to happen is I think Roman has transcended being a champion or having to have the Universal Championship. He's Roman Reigns now. He's 1,316 days champion. That can never be taken away. So now it comes down to, okay, legacy cemented, doesn't need a belt. Cody needed a belt. Okay, Cody's got the belt. Now it comes down to how long does Cody keep the belt? Because Cody Rhodes says now that he's finished the story, he's cemented his legacy in wrestling. Now he took the story of Dusty Rhodes and it's manifested into him, and now he's the biggest thing in wrestling now, and the fans are behind him. But he doesn't need to have a championship to still be now the Cody Rhodes. He's now the Cody Rhodes because he won on Sunday night in Philadelphia at WrestleMania 40. So now he's got that. So he doesn't need that. Now I hope he holds on to it for a while, because I think sometimes when these stars win, and they get their title taken away too quickly, then it kind of, to me, diminishes the championship or the fact that we took this person and made him a champion. I mean, just to make him a champion. Even same with Damian Priest. Now I thought was one of the greatest, things at WrestleMania was the fact that, you got Drew McIntyre, you got Seth freaking Rollins, and you got, Drew winning the heavyweight championship, having to go over to CM Punk, who just happens to be there running his mouth with Pat McAfee and Adam Cole at the announcer's table, because he's there. Because, why not? Why wouldn't he be there, right? So, and then Drew gets all caught up in that, and then CM Punk takes out Drew, and then, then you see the purple lights, and, Damian Priest comes running down the aisle and, cashes in the Money in the Bank and takes out Drew McIntyre. Now he's the heavyweight champion. So I like what WWE did there. I like the fact. Now, I had thought for the longest time they might do that with Cody Rhodes and screw Cody that way, where Cody would win the title and then just like Dusty, basically take it away minutes later. And I thought that would have been a cruel, but kind of funny thing, but that did not happen. Damian chose to do it with Drew McIntyre and the heavyweight championship belt. So I thought that was fun. I'm glad that he did it that way. I thought it made WrestleMania that much better. Of all the WrestleManias, one of the best. I think that, anytime, even though I think a lot of people knew, well, I would say knew, but they kind of thought, in which you're not going to have a rematch of Cody versus Roman unless you're going to maybe have that belt switch hands, which, after WrestleMania 39, and it was very disappointing for obviously Cody and the Cody Crybabies for him to get it done in Philly. That was great. And, even I know it's scripted per se, but to see the raw emotion that a lot of the wrestlers, that even Randy Orton was in the ring afterwards, and, Seth Rollins and Sami Zayn, but, Samantha Irvin, the ring announcer, I love what she doesn't want to know who wins the match. She doesn't want, she wants to be surprised or just in the moment when it actually does, when they do have a winner, and her emotion when Cody Rhodes won, she was kind of choked up, and I was listening to it, and, she's, saying, and she stopped, and you hear kind of how the emotion and everything overcame. And I thought that was great. I thought that, she's a legend, and I'm glad WWE's got to have her. And I'm glad as a WWE fan that she's there, because I like her voice. I think she does a great job, and, she adds so much value to that company. And also another empowering thing for women, Stephanie McMahon coming out on night 2 and coming out there. And I know obviously with the things about her father coming out, I'll say this, I'm not here to say anything nice about Vince McMahon when it comes to the allegations that some of the things that are being, alleged that he has done. And even his time at running the WWE, I mean, he's not always been the most ethical maybe person. But to say that he didn't take wrestling and make it to where it is now is just having bias, and I think it's a disservice. Now, I think you can be a not so great human and still do great things in life. And, we see that with some of our stars. I mean, O.J. Simpson, I mean, not exactly, but you can't argue what he did on the football field. Jim Brown, I mean, there's some things about him in his personal life that you probably don't really want to know if you don't know, because it might make you think differently about him. But that doesn't mean he wasn't an all-time great, and on the field and also in life. A lot of these stars, they give back in charity and everything, and that shouldn't be diminished either. Not everybody's a perfect person, so I'm not here to rain on anybody's parade. So enough about that. But I just wanted to say Stephanie McMahon coming out and saying all the things about WrestleMania and how she's been a part of it. But, she's a strong woman, always has been. And it was good to see her out there. And, I think this new era with Triple H and Paul Levesque and Stephanie and everybody, I'm looking forward to it. And I think WrestleMania delivered. I think now where they go with it from here, I don't know. I think maybe that's a good thing. Because, some of the people that were sick of the Roman Reigns era, well, it's not his era anymore. But also, too, a lot of people that are happy that Cody Rhodes is the champion. I included a little bit. We get to see where this goes. And, I'll be interested to see how long it goes as well. And, I mean, and then on top of that, let's talk about, Bayley winning. Good for her. Talk about Io Sky. Rhea Ripley. I mean, she definitely is the face of women's wrestling. And I can see her holding onto the title for quite a long time. Look at the tag team division. Got Miz and R-Truth. I mean, that was fun to watch them. And, Judgment Day no longer has it. And, I think there's so many different plot twists and so many angles that WWE can go. Tune in. Raw and SmackDown Friday and Monday nights, or it's must-watch TV, and I think that's what they want. So, like I said, feel free to anything that I say on this show. Feel free to comment, respond, tell me I'm an idiot. At We Like Sports, under the show, just feel free. Like I said, we always trying to be better, and I'm going on this solo journey. Kind of, I had a little help from Youssef, a little tag team action, but a majority of this is mine today, and that's okay. I wanted to say also, we like Sports. We do appreciate everybody for tuning in, chiming in. Our articles, our website has grown tremendously, and we cannot be more appreciative, and have those good feelings from what we've been seeing from, people out there. So keep it up, and we'll keep it up as well, because if we don't keep it up, then you can't respond. So, I know it starts with us, but we appreciate how it's turning out. So thank you there. I wanted to say also, too, about just sports in general, that what a great time right now. We got the NBA playoffs coming up, NHL playoffs coming up, horse racing, too. Kentucky Derby is coming up as well. Baseball's in full swing. And, there's always times that you look at the calendar and you're thinking, okay, well, after this is over with, you're a little bit deflated. Football's over with. Obviously, that's the big thing. College football obviously is over with. After the Super Bowl, there's that little bit of, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? But then, a week later, something else starts up, and, it gets you going. It gets you motivated. It gets you thinking, get you being a fan again. And I think we're in this new spring renewal right now, and I'm all for it. So I just wanted to say that. So if if there's anything that you as a fan out there that's watching or will watch that you want us to focus on more, feel free. I mean, if you want some more some UFL coverage out there, I know that there's 2 leagues have combined and they're together now, and there might be some players out there that you want us to talk about or look at or write some articles about. Feel free, shoot us a post or DM the We Like Sports and let us know, because like I said, we want to cater our sports around your fandom, because you have many places to go, and why not come to us, and like I said, we want to be very accommodating to you and for you. So but with that, I think we've covered basketball, pro and NCAA. We've hit on some baseball. Now football, okay, we didn't talk about football, and the NFL never stopped. So I want to hit on that a little bit. Obviously I'm a Cleveland Browns fan, Cleveland centric here. I'm glad to see that Deshaun Watson is from what he's stating is on his way to a full recovery. He says he'll be ready week 1. It's good to see. I think the Browns are going to pick up the 5th-year option on Greg Newsome, so that's always good. Greg, welcome back. I think the Browns defense is pretty good. I mean, weren't always great on the road last year. Gave up around 30 points on the road, but 10 points at home. So maybe we'll focus on that instead. But the Browns had a great defense last year, and with a healthy Deshaun Watson, and hopefully get some help in the draft. I know they picked like 54th or 55th overall, so pick up a good player there, and hopefully have some depth in the later rounds and see where that takes us. But also too, like with the draft coming up, let us know your team and who you think your team might be picking, because we like to see that, and everything helps us formulate where we want to go and take this show, but also where we want to take our article. So want to do that. Also, with football, I know there's talk in Cleveland about getting a dome and everything. Look, I'm just going to say this. I don't care if it offends people. I want a dome. Dome. It's 2024. I don't think it makes you a tougher person because I sat out in the cold for 4 hours watching my team win or lose. I don't think that makes you a more of a football fan. It might make your blood thicker, but I don't know if that actually translates to health. I don't know if that's actually good for you, but whatever. But no, I do hope the Browns do build a dome. I think that all indications are it's probably going to head that way. So I know Buffalo, you're getting an open air stadium, and good for you. I do think there are places in the NFL where, I think that kind of, adds to the persona. You got the Bills Mafia, you got Buffalo, Orchard Park, New York. That's a part of your DNA to spend your whole Sundays out in the cold. That's fine. I think the Browns, have an identity, but it doesn't necessarily have to be that. They can just be a tough team on the lake. Well, actually, it wouldn't be in the lake anymore. It'd actually probably be in Brook Park, but that's okay too. So, some things I just want to win as a Browns fan. I just want to win. 1964 was our last championship, and long overdue. So, I know there's been some rule changes. The kickoff rule looks interesting. Big fan of that. I think it's going to be cause chaos because you're actually going to have kick returns. So, having the kicker back there and, the teams line up 10 yards apart. And once, the receiver catches the ball and then it's on, it kind of becomes a scrum like Australian rules football. So I'm all for that. I'm all for anything that is not just a touchback, because let's be real, in the NFL, the past couple of years, it's been touchback. What's the point of, paying for special teams players when it's just going to be a touchback anyway? So I think that's going to add to a premium on teams looking for special teams players like they had in the 90s. I know, Steve Tasker for the Bills was a special teams player, a gunner. And so it's fun to see, or will be fun to see, that actually become a part of the game now. So maybe actually get some touchdowns off kickoff returns. Wow, that'd be a crazy thing to see that come back. So, I'd be all for that. And I think a lot of NFL fans would be as well, to see the ball get kicked and actually have a play that's meaningful. So we shall see. But, I think I've hit it all. And if I didn't, then, I'm sure somebody will tell me that I didn't, but I don't want to spend too much time just hearing myself talk, but I do love me some me, and I don't mind it that much. So, but I do want to say this. I want to say thank you to everybody out there that tuned in or will tune in to the We Like Sports show. I am your host, Ed in Columbus. And like I say, we like sports, but we like you. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great night, and we will talk to you soon. Peace.